Are you able to see the slide now? Can you see the slide?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Are you able to see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a, those, I think I'll spend about 10 minutes in what I discussed last time in 1 hour, so that those who are joining today, they are also updated on it. So we start with what is intellectual property. Intellectual property is any form of intangible property. The difference between tangible and intangible property is tangible property is that property which you can see, you can touch. Okay, you can lift it from anywhere to anywhere if it is movable. If it is immovable, like house, building, land, at least you can see it and touch it. You cannot shift it, but you can see and you can touch. So that is the physical property is movable or immovable. But the intellectual property is intangible. You cannot see, you cannot touch. Okay, but you still have a right on it. And the intellectual property rights are the rights uh, uh, which do not allow others to use your intellectual property without your permission. So the rights of the intellectual property or IPRs are known as the negative rights, because suppose you have a technology, you have patented it. Now anybody, everybody has got the access to the patent, but they cannot produce a product without your permission, without license from you. Therefore, technically they can produce, but legally they cannot produce. And therefore, the IPRs are also known as negative rights. Now, you can use your rights on your intellectual property are intellectual property rights, IPRs, and these are the major forms of IPRs. The patents, industrial designs, trademarks, copyrights, layout designs of integrated circuits, trade secrets, plant varieties, geographical indication, and traditional knowledge. I'll briefly tell you about each. Patents are for inventions, anything which is invented. Industrial designs are how a product looks in terms of its outlook, shape, design. Okay, how it appears to your eyes. The sole criteria for a new design is how it appears to your eyes. There is no invention in it. And trademarks are, all of you know the brand name or trademark, Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Okay, like that. Fruity. Then copyrights are for what is written material. It can be a poem, novel, a story. Okay, anything what you write, you have the copyright on it. Then the layout designs of integrated circuits are also protected separately. Trade secrets are not protected legally. It is, you have to keep your secret as a secret. Don't disclose it to anyone. Take due precaution. Like it is told that Coca-Cola's secret is still a secret, and they keep it in a vault. And all the people, 4 or 5 people who know the secret, they don't travel in the same flight. They don't, assemble at one place, etc., etc. So the trade secret is you can afford to keep a secret as long as you want to keep it a secret. So that is a trade secret. And the farmers do research, and the some seed companies, they do research. They make new plant varieties, new seeds are invented. Some of the things like BT cotton, you must have heard of, which got into a very controversy. So these are the research done in the agriculture field, which is new varieties are given by the research outcome. But these are also patented. And then geographical indications. So geographical indications are the uh, mm, products which have got a special property, okay, which are of high quality, specialized products with special quality, like champagne. Champagne is also wine, and other wines are also wines. So what is the difference between champagne and other wines? Why champagne is 4 to 5 times more expensive than other wines? Because it is of a very high quality, special quality. After 3:30, just 1 minute. 3:30, I can send a message to you.
No, I saw. I just want to tell you about that 2 minutes. We finished.
I have a class. Okay.
I will send you a message.
So, the like Darjeeling tea, Alfonso mango. Okay, so these are the kinds of geographical indications. A particular product is known by the, either it can be named by the place, or it may not. It need not necessarily be named by the name of the place. Like Darjeeling tea is the tea which is grown in Darjeeling, and Alfonso mango is not grown in Alfonso, but is grown in Ratnagiri in Maharashtra. So the name of the product can be, traditionally it has been known by some other name, and it is also possible that it is known by the same, like Darjeeling tea or champagne. Okay, so these are the and now the top three: patents, industrial designs, and trademarks. They are also known as industrial property rights. And the first international convention on industrial property rights was held in Paris, which is known as Paris Convention, which was in 1883. And for copyrights, the convention was held in Bern, and therefore its name was Bern Convention, 1886. It was held in 1886. So, where is Bern? Bern Convention was held in Bern. Where, anybody who knows where is Bern?
Germany?
Switzerland.
Switzerland, correct. What is the capital of Switzerland?
Zurich.
Tell me, what is the capital of
Bern.
Bern is the capital, right? So now any product can have different types of IPRs. If there's a Canon camera, Canon is a trademark. The shutter has got a patent on it because of special technology of the shutter speed, etc. The outlook of this is under the subject is a subject matter of design, how it looks to you. Okay, and copyright is the instruction manual of how to use the camera. The instruction manual can be in different languages. It can be in English, French, German, in many languages. And like so many products which are sold in India, they have got their instruction manuals in about 15 languages, because India is a very large country with so many languages. So one product may have something to do with patents, trademark, design, copyright, and all these things. Okay, now I come to this. Last time I was about to start this. These are the intellectual property rights and IPRs. So IP and IPRs. So the it is more towards patents and inventions. So this patents, inventions, what you see on the top. Okay. You can see this diagram.
Yes, sir.
I have highlighted the top, identifying the problems. So the invention start with identification of a problem. I'll just discuss a few points so that you understand. There was a need for communication from two long distances. How do you communicate? I'm talking 100 years back, 150 years back. So the wireless system started. So scientists and engineers, R&D people, they keep on doing research, and then the telephone came up. You have heard of telegram? Have you heard of a telegram also? That used to use Morse key. Maybe in school you might have studied in your 7th, 8th standard or something. Are you aware of the telegram system? Anyone? Yes or no? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you. We have not heard.
You have not heard.
Yeah.
You know the post office तो देखा है ना सबने आपने post office.
Yes sir, we have seen post office.
हाँ, तो पोस्ट ऑफिस में ही एक आदमी बैठता था, वो जो है वो टेलीग्राम करता था. एक मोर्स की का नाम सुना है आपने?
नहीं सुना मैंने.
नहीं सुना है तो अब इसको ना टेलीग्राम करके आज जरा गूगल पे देखना, सर्च करना, सब मिल जाएगा उसमें, ठीक है ना? ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज.
ठीक है सर.
अब टेलीग्राम क्या है कि जब से टेलीफोन वगैरह सब इतने सस्ते हो गए, सबके पास में अवेलेबल हो गए हैं, तो तब से इसका जो है ये बंद हो गया है. टेलीग्राम का सिस्टम ऑफिशियली क्लोज कर दिया. टेलीग्राम वाज पार्ट ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट वाज नोन एज पोस्ट एंड टेलीग्राफ डिपार्टमेंट. तो पोस्ट एंड टेलीग्राफ में पोस्टल डिपार्टमेंट उसका एक कंपोनेंट था, टेलीग्राफ दूसरा था, एंड पोस्ट एंड टेलीग्राफ डिपार्टमेंट पोस्ट ऑफिस में ही एक आदमी में होता था. तो उसमें क्या होता था, इंस्टेंट मैसेज चले जाता था. तो सपोज यू वांट टू सेंड ए मैसेज, एंड जो टेलीग्राम वाज पर वर्ड उसका काउंट होता था, जो होता था ना उसमें पैसा लगता था पर वर्ड. तो अगर हमने उसको वी कुड नॉट राइट ए फुल लैंग्वेज, एंड इफ यू हैव यू हर्ड कि भाई इसको टेलीग्राफिक लैंग्वेज में दो, हमें कोई चीज किसी ने डेस्क्रिप्टिवली दिया हुआ है, जैसे हम कहते हैं ना बुलेट पॉइंट में वी आर नॉट सपोज टू राइट फुल सेंटेंसेस. तो टेलीग्राफिक लैंग्वेज होती है जिसमें कि यू राइट ओनली फ्यू वर्ड्स. Like suppose there is there is some death in the family, and people live in different places in the country. So telegram will go ki say Papa died. Okay, 2 words. Like this very brief message were there. Say no ki uncle serious, and a grandfather serious, grandmother no more. Grandmother died. Just a few words used to be there. So that was something. Telegram, we could send telegram nationally and internationally also. So I don't exactly remember because we never sent any international telegrams. But within the country, all parts of the country, we could send. So each post office had a person who could, who would receive the telegram and who could send the telegram. So we give in our own language, and then there is a technology was there by which the telegram would be sent in that electronic format, and the person will translate that electronic format to English or Hindi as the language may be. So that was the concept of telegram. So that was Morse key was an invention, and that enabled us to communicate long distances in a very short time. Because if a letter was to be sent, it would go by train. 150 years back, it would go by train, and then even 100 years back, it would also go by train or by ship, which will take several months. When Gandhiji went to study in South Africa, in Britain, and he was in South Africa, he was doing practice as an advocate. So at that time, the letters South Africa used to go in ship. If you send a letter today, it will reach there after 1 month or 2 months. That was the time lag. But with the telegram, it was instantaneous. And then telephone, which came later on, telephone, you could talk directly to anyone, within uh, your own country as well as outside your own country. So telephoning was possible. And now you see in the mobile, the WhatsApp call is there. You can talk to anyone, anywhere in the world. It is, it is all inventions. So first you identify a problem, then do the research, and then uh, when your research is done, you go for patenting. So the inventions, patent will come after the invention, and invention will come after identifying a problem. The sharpener, nail cutter. I take very simple examples. Earlier, how do you used to cut the nails? With a scissors, and then the nail cutter was invented. So small inventions. The paper clips. There was no system of paper clips. So you got 10 papers. How do you put them together? Okay, there was no system of paper clips. Now, the bottles were not there. Utensils were not there. Much olden days. So new materials have come up. In 1950s, there was no concept of stainless steel. The concept of stainless steel came in late 50s and early 60s. Before that, in nobody's house, whether you could be a Tata Birla, the stainless steel was not there in anybody's house. Utensils were not of stainless steel. So that was a great invention. The stainless steel, the different utensils could be made. Then there was no system of having a chair. There was no revolving chair. Okay, there was no umbrella. So all these things, when you felt there is need, there was no shoes. How the first shoe was invented? Because in those days, several hundred years ago, a king is going and so many people, hundreds of people are spreading a carpet so that the king will not be moving on the, on the road where it is very stones are there and it may hurt the king. So a carpet was being rolled, and that rolling of the carpet used to, make the atmosphere so full of dust, and that dust was also not good for people as well as for the king. So some person thought, rather than a carpet being rolled for the king, why don't you put something around the feet of the king so that he can walk around easily without any problem? And that is how the invention of shoes became there. So shoes were invented. Then you must have seen a person, old scientists, they used to have a single lens, and they with the one eye closed and with one eye, they used to read. That was a magnifying glass. So that was the concept of spectacles in the beginning. Then somebody thought, why to hold it like this? Why not to put two lenses on the two eyes? Then how do you put it? So the concept of spectacle frames came. That was an invention because the need was identified. So when the spectacles came, there was for a short distance, you keep, that is a plus power. You have separate lenses and separate specs, and for long distance power, which I think most of you in the early stage, if you have a eyesight problem, it is a minus, maybe minus 0.5, minus 1, minus 1.5, minus 2, so this is, you have one specs for it. But in the age 50 plus, your short sight also gets adversely affected. So people used to keep two specs. So somebody thought, why two specs? Why not put both the lenses in one specs? So you don't have to carry one more. So the concept of bifocal came. So bifocal means that on the upper side, it is the long distance minus power lens in the specs, and lower side, when you read, you keep your head on the, bent toward the paper you are reading on the table or something. So the lower part of the spectacles was a plus power. So that was the system. So this was a bifocal lens was there. Then the bifocal, wherever there was a demarcation between convexity and concavity, so there was an optical illusion. So it used to be very, difficult for people to, when they used to, in the beginning, they started using the specs, the bifocal specs. So the concept of the invention of progressive lenses came. Now you must be finding that progressive lenses, I'm sure some older people in your family would be using the progressive lenses. In the progressive lens, no outsider can make out it is only minus or only plus or minus and plus both. So that is the beauty of this modular progressive lenses. So progressive lenses is specs. So you have only one specs and no optical illusion. So mesh box, a lighter for lighting the cigarette or in the thing, a lighter for the gas lighter in the LPG or this cylinder gas or this piped gas you get in the house. There is a lighter. 40, 50, 50, 60 years back, there was no such lighter. So people used to use mesh box for lighting the gas. So these are all the things which I have given you hundreds, so many names. They're all started with the identification of the problems. Now, in this identification of the problem, you go for ideation, you do research, and you come out with some invention. Okay, and that is what is invention is a technical solution to some existing problem. You can note down, invention is technical solution to an existing problem. So an existing problem is solved with some invention. And all the things which I have told you, these are all the inventions. Now, once the intellectual property, invention is intellectual property, and it can be protected through the patenting system. And the patenting system started in the 16th or 17th century. In most of the countries, it came up in the 18th century and 19th century. In India, it came in 19th century. That was in 1856 onwards. And all these sets of laws on patents, copyright, designs, all these kept on getting improved and modified as per the needs. So once you have got the invention is there, the IP is created. Now you have to file the intellectual property application. So if it is a copyrighted thing, you can file your application yourself without any problem. But if it is an invention, then the patent IP application means patent application in case of invention. So when you give the file a patent application, you have to write claim. What is claim, which I have put in red color? Claim is what you are claiming as the new thing in your invention. What is the new thing you have done? What is the invention about? Suppose there is a car. Car is already existing. You have put some new thing in a car. So do you think that a new car is the invention by you? Yes or no? The car with new features is not an invention. That feature which is added in the car is the invention. For example, for past about 25 years or so, there is a feature which you want, you can get it, in your car. In developed countries, the most of the cars are tailor-made. They say these are the 50 things. Which of these things you want in your car? You put a tick mark on those 50 items, and then the car will be tailor-made to you and will be delivered to you in a few days or a few weeks. Normally within a week it is delivered to you, because your car will be tailor-made after you place the order. These are the features you want in your car. So one feature which is not so common in Indian cars is a breathing sensor. That means if you have taken more alcohol, then you must be quite familiar with the breathing test. that police people do, the traffic police people do, and challan you if you are doing the drunk driving. So, you can have some alcohol consumption up to some limit. If you have taken more than that, it is believed that you are not in your full senses and you meet with an accident. If you are driving a car, meet with an accident, the more chances are that somebody whom you hit will be killed. If it is very fatal accident, then it may adversely affect you. You may get injured or you may also get killed. But normally, with even little mistake, it doesn't hurt you because you are inside the car, but a person on the road can be killed. So, it's a sensor, this breathing test, which is done by the police. So, this kind of a sensor is integrated in a car. Now, the key, it is connected to the ignition of the car. So you move the key, but car will not start if you are under the influence of liquor more than the permissible limit. So you start car, it is not starting. You wait in the car for another half an hour, 1 hour. You again start not starting. Wait another half an hour. You start. If it starts, that means your alcohol consumption its impact has been diluted, and now you are in a position to drive. So many people, those who drink in late night parties, they come back, they want this particular feature to be added in their car. Now, this kind of an invention. So, what is the invention in this? That is put in terms of claims. I will share with you some of the patents. You can now, internet is there, Google Uncle is there. You can see any patent, this thing. And you will become very familiar with all the patents and claims within a month. So the claim drafting is very important, and claim drafting is to be done very effectively by the attorneys, patent attorneys. They are very competent in drafting the claims or fine-tuning the claims, because the lawyers, they are good in language skills. A difference in placement of a comma can make a lot of difference in the meaning. Just tell me, all of you know Hindi or not? Anybody who doesn't know Hindi? Anyone who does not know Hindi, please just tell me. So I presume everybody knows Hindi. Okay. In that case, I tell you one sentence. Roko, comma, mat jane do. What is its meaning? Roko, comma, mat jane do. That is, stop a person, don't allow him to go. Okay. Then roko mat, comma, jane do. Roko mat, don't stop a person, jane do, let him go. Two opposite meaning with the change of comma from after one word to after two words. The change of placement of comma has changed the entire meaning of the sentence. So in claims also, this is very important that it should be put in a manner. For example, if suppose in an invention some reaction takes place at 70 degrees Celsius, and you write in your patent claim that this will happen at 70 degrees Celsius, and you are claiming that this is your invention. Now the patent attorney will ask you, if it is not 70, if it is 69 degrees Celsius, can this happen? You may say that it may be under different pressure conditions. Even at 68, it may happen, the reaction can take place if there is some other different pressure conditions. So the patent attorney will say that your invention, this reaction will take place, which are making use of in the temperature range of 70 minus plus 10. So if anybody wants to use the same invention by using, making that particular chemical or that compound or that particular product at the temperature 65, that person will also be infringing your patent, because the patent attorney has written the claims in such a manner that it is 70 minus plus 10. That means 60 to 80 degrees Celsius. So this is how your protection becomes much wider. So if the claims are written in a manner that helps you in a manner that you get a better protection on your invention, so that is a very good job done by the patent attorneys. So what three things you can see on the right side at the bottom are in red color. These are the things which are done best by the patent attorneys. And what is written in the blue is not the subject matter or not the expertise of attorneys, patent attorneys or lawyers. Why I am saying this thing? Particularly to tell you that how all of you can understand the system of patenting, system of inventions, and all of you can do it. Whether you are doing BTech, you complete your BTech, or you are doing a BTech project, anything, anytime you can do this. And you should understand that IPRs, the intellectual property rights, which are supposed to be in the domain of lawyers earlier, are no more the monopoly of lawyers. Because, say, now I tell you, identification of a problem. Can only a lawyer identify a problem, or a common person can also identify a problem? I want you to be more participative in nature. Please tell me. Can you identify a problem, or only a lawyer will identify a problem? I'm talking here. Can you identify any problem?
Yes, sir, we can identify problems.
Tell me, identify some problem you are facing nowadays.
Sir, like everywhere there is no very good internet connectivity. This is also a problem.
Okay. So वो आता है ना, नेट कनेक्टिविटी को इम्प्रूव करने बूस्टर आता है आजकल. बूस्टर इज
Yes,
ऑल्सो
sir.
इन्वेंशन.
Yes, sir.
मॉडर्न आने लगा, उसके बाद बूस्टर आने लग गया है. तो बिकॉज ऑफ द इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी, so now there is a invention was done. So after identification of the problem, invention was there. Any other thing? देखो, बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजें बताता हूँ मैं. ईयरबड आते हैं ना, कान साफ करते हो ना, जॉनसन जॉनसन का ईयरबड्स आते हैं. यू आर अवेयर ऑफ इट और नॉट? सब लोग यूज करते हो ना?
यस सर.
टूथपिक भी सब जने यूज करते हैं. टूथपिक कितनी छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, बट दे आर ऑल इन्वेंशंस. ठीक है. टूथब्रश, toothpaste, comb is also an invention. First time the comb was made, it was an invention. Okay. Pen, pencil. Okay. Even a bottle was not there earlier. First time the bottle was an invention where you can put any liquid. Okay, you can put in liquid and put it in a bottle. The first time a bottle was made, it was an invention. When the bottle was made, its cover was not, dhakkan was not made. So somebody thought कि the bottle, you used to give some कटोरी को उसको उल्टा रखते थे उसके ऊपर, तो या कुछ पेपर रखते थे, तो भाई इसके ऊपर कुछ करा दो. Somebody invented a ढक्कन of the bottle. Okay. Pressure cooker, the जो knife, the vegetable cutting knife and the peeler, पीलर देखते हो किचन में, जैसे पोटैटो पील करते हैं आप, दैट वाज आल्सो ग्रेट इन्वेंशन, है ना। जो इतनी सारी तरह की इन्वेंशंस होती हैं डेली ऑन डे टू डे बेसिस. Lock was also an invention. Then what are the different stages? First was a lock with a key. Then what was the next stage of, after some invention, what was the next stage of a lock? Tell me. A padlock was there, then a built-in lock. In the door itself, the lock is there. Okay. Physically, nobody can take away the lock from there. It is all inside the door. So you have only a key. Then what is the next stage of the lock? What was the next stage of the lock? You have seen the electronic lock. Nowadays, you go to the hotels, there will be a, like your credit card kind of a card they will give you. And that card is, it can be disabled. Suppose you are supposed to vacate your room by 12 o'clock and you have not vacated the room by 12 o'clock on that date. So they had already booked a room from 2 o'clock onwards. So they will disable your lock. So they will disable your key. So the electronic key, that means like your smart card, you cannot open your lock. You have to go to the counter in the hotel and say, please, I have to take my luggage outside my room. It is already 12 o'clock. It is only a few minutes after 12, but you have disabled my key. So please enable my key. I have to take my luggage out of the room. So they'll enable it for maybe 15, 20 minutes or half an hour. You go back to your room, then you can open your door with that kind of a key. So these are the electronic locks. So earlier it was something has now become in the domain of electronics engineers, computer scientists. Okay. So now I come back on the claims, and below claims is intellectual property valuation. What is IP valuation? Intellectual property valuation. If you have got an invention, you want to give it a license to someone for producing or using your invention and producing the product. What should be the fee at which you should give the license? Or if you want to take a license for producing something, what is the reasonable amount you should pay to the patent holder? So who will do the valuation of the patents? Who will do the valuation of the patent? It is the marketing people, business strategy people, finance people. There is a team of the people together along with the R&D people. They do the IP valuation jointly. If it is trademark valuation, there is no R&D people involved in the trademark valuation. You have heard of all Thumbs Up and Gold Spot? I hope all of you have heard of Gold Spot and Thumbs Up. Limca, Gold Spot and Thumbs Up. तो पार्टिसिपेटिव रहो भाई.
Yes, sir. Yeah, ready.
All these three brands were being produced by Parle Agro. Parle G biscuit आता है ना, Parle Agro. Parle Agro was making all these brands of the cold drinks, cola, orange, and lime, and they sold it in about $60 million to Coca-Cola in 1992 or 93. These were the trademarks, and they found they are getting good money, so they sold it to Coca-Cola. Why Coca-Cola bought these three brands, these three trademarks? Tell me. Anyone who knows it? Or you want me to tell you? Hello. Should I tell you or you know it?
No, we don't know,
They
sir.
were creating competition for Coca-Cola's product.
Huh?
Were they creating competition for Coca-Cola's product?
No, 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 no. See, what happened in 1978. In 1978, when you must have heard of emergency. After emergency, Janata Party came to power and Mr. Moraji Desai became the Prime Minister. So that was the Janata Party rule, 1977 to 1979 and 2.5 years approximately. So when Moraji Desai government, Janata Party government wanted to dilute equity of multinational corporations in India, they said you cannot hold more than this equity, rest of it should be with the Indian public. So the two companies, Coca-Cola and IBM, they said we will not dilute our equity. So the government said if you don't comply with our rules, you'll have to quit our country. You will not be allowed to operate in our country. So they thought the country cannot do without Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola was so much, it had penetrated even in the all rural areas. In an ice box, they used to put some ice and Coca-Cola bottles, and people used to have Coca-Cola. And IBM was the very major brand of computers everywhere. The mainframe computers were of IBM at most places in India. So they also thought India can't do without IBM computers and without IBM services. So the service engineers were uh, located in different places. We were in IIT Kanpur at that time. There were 3 engineers of IBM who were the service engineers. Any technical fault in the IBM mainframe computer was to be repaired by them. So they were posted there only because of IBM computers in IIT Kanpur. So they also thought India cannot do without IBM, a company's presence in India. So government showed them the door. They both left India in 1978, and the IBM service engineers were given a immediate retirement with good compensation. And that time, the Computer Maintenance Corporation was formed in India, and all these engineers who were working with IBM, and they were doing the servicing of the computers in India, they were employed in CMC, Computer Maintenance Corporation Limited. And the CMC did this, railway reservation. Earlier it was a manual, it was all done computerization of the railway reservations. Now everything was done by CMC. Just to give you a little background. So CMC was formed, and when Coca-Cola left, the Thumbs Up and these brands were there, but they were not very major brands. But when Coca-Cola was not in India, Thumbs Up became a very popular brand. So Thumbs Up and Gold Spot, they started selling very well, and Limca. And they were so popular that in 1991 in India, when we went for liberalization of our economy and economic reforms, we started inviting foreign companies, foreign direct investment. So Coca-Cola wanted to come back and enter India's market. So Coca-Cola um, bought these 3 brands. That was the background. So how much they paid for it? They had estimated, they valued it that they will buy in $60 million. So this was the valuation of the patent or trade. That was the valuation of a trademark. Now, technology marketing. Technology marketing are the people who are engineering background people, technology background people with a management degree. So they do the technology marketing because the marketing principles along with the knowledge of the kind of technology they are marketing. Then the transfer of technology. TOT is transfer of technology. What is transfer of technology? You can have, once this technology is there, you do the marketing, you have to transfer the technology. So the transfer of technology, the terms and conditions of the transfer of technology agreement are to be written by The attorneys who are well versed in this thing and they're competent in this. Then comes the negotiation and licensing agreement. When you transfer technology, you indulge in negotiations. And how do you indulge in negotiation? You when you go to buy in some shops, do you negotiate or not? Everybody negotiates or not? You are familiar with negotiation?
Yes, sir, we are familiar.
How do you negotiate? The shopkeeper says, suppose a lady goes to buy a sari.
Yes.
The shopkeeper says it is 6,500. What does the lady say? Danny, it is too much. Give some discount. Give me in 4,500. Give me 2,000 rupee discount.
Yes, sir.
He says, no, I can give you 500 rupees discount. Instead of 6,500, I'll give you in 6,000. Again, the lady says, no, thora kuch increase the discount. Then he says, okay, 5,500. That is you are a very special customer. Then again, if the bargain is very strong, that lady will say, tell me, okay, I am going. So, acha, please take this thing. I'll reduce it to 5,000. So 6,500 to 5,000. So what that lady has shown, disinterest. Okay. So if you show a strong interest, you lose the bargaining power. Okay. If you don't show that strong interest, you have more bargaining power. Okay. This example is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So same way technology marketing is there, patents, when you go for licensing, you have to negotiate. You say ki it is your patent and you want the patent license is done in two ways. One is the upfront fee. That is 50 lakhs rupees, 1 crore rupees, 5 crore rupees, 10 crore rupees, 20 crore rupees upfront fee. You give straight away. And then per unit of product. Suppose you are making, using a patented technology, you are making some particular product. So per unit product, whatever the MRP of the product, 5% of MRP, 10% of MRP, 7% of MRP, something like that, or 15% of MRP or 20% of MRP. That is the royalty. So it is the technology transfer is done with two components of fee. One is the lump sum, which is the lump sum upfront fee. Other is the per unit, which is known as royalty. So how much you should give and how much, what is the reasonable thing? So you have to negotiate. When you negotiate two persons, you are transferring the technology. You have got the ownership. You say you want 10 crore rupees. The other party says we can give you only 5 crore rupees. Then you come down from 10 crore to 9 crore, 8 crore. That person will go up from 5 crore to 6 crore, 7 crore. And at 7.5 crore, you settle. So this is all negotiation. Okay. And on the royalty fee, you say, give me 20% royalty fee. He says, we can give you 5% royalty fee. Then you say, no, 20, I can come down to 18%. He says, I can come up to 7%. Then you say, okay, 15%. He says, okay, 9%. Then you further come down. Then you settle at 13% or so, or 14%. So in the royalty fee also, you negotiate. And after the negotiation, the licensing agreement will be drafted. And licensing agreement is very important document because all the terms and conditions should be mentioned in the license. I'll give you an example of one agreement, not licensing agreement, one agreement in which Coca-Cola type of such a big multinational, the managers did not get their agreement drafted properly, and that was the example of one World Cup in late 90s was sponsored by Coca-Cola, and it was the sponsors were Coca-Cola, and they forgot, they did not, by mistake, they did not have a clause in their agreement with the telecast companies, that when it is the cricket match is broadcast to the license company, they are not supposed to give any other companies advertisements of the competing companies. Okay, and this somehow the Pepsi people were smart enough, they came to know about it, and what they did, they found out, and then they made 5 second ad when the ball has gone for a four or a sixer is there, or there is a a long distance, they're coming bringing the ball back. There 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, they will show the person who is doing the batting ki, he's drinking a Pepsi in the hand, and he said nothing official about it, because official sponsors of Coca-Cola, and they took this line that cricketer has to speak. Nothing official about it. Only one, nothing official about it. 4 words. Nothing official about it. And for speaking these 4 words and having a Pepsi bottle in the hand and showing that he is drinking Pepsi, he could, he would be paid ₹1,00,000. He said कि मैं बोल दूंगा कि nothing official about it. So these cricketers earned so many lakhs of rupees, and this company जिसने चौका लगाया, जिसने क्लीन बोल्ड किया, उसी बॉलर का नथिंग ऑफिशियल अबाउट इट दिखा देंगे. And that is how the following year was the first time in India the Pepsi's market share exceeded Coca-Cola's market share. Pepsi's market share exceeded Coca-Cola's market share in the following year after this particular World Cup sponsorship. So agreements can be something which are very important. This American Express credit card, they came up with this thing that there was an agreement, and they said ki we'll give you so much of free, and instead of or, this person wrote and so much of some discount or something, and both things were done, and it costed American Express about $60 million. So license agreements are to be very carefully drafted. Then comes, I'll take a few more minutes, infringement. If there is infringement, suppose somebody's patent is being infringed. Now you can write down this thing that the intellectual property cannot be stolen, because there is no concept of the physical property, which is movable property, can be stolen. Immovable property can be, what's a kabja? That means that can be forcefully captured. Physical property, movable property, and immovable can be forcefully captured, and movable can be stolen. A car can be stolen, jewelry can be stolen. Okay, but intellectual property is already known to everybody. There is no concept of stealing it. So anything which is illegally done in terms of ownership of the intellectual property, that is known as infringement. This is equivalent to theft of physical property. So the infringement is there, then you have to go to the court. The party whose intellectual property has been infringed by some other party, then the intellectual property owner will go and lodge a complaint in the court. It can be in terms of trademark. Suppose somebody is using a trademark or a brand or made something which is very similar to yours. Yours is a Godrej, and somebody makes a lock and say Godrej, or G he writes in such a manner it looks as if it is G. J. So Godrej or Godrej, okay, gold spot, and you write say na guild spot. So consumer may think कि ये थोड़ा spelling mistake हो गया है इसका, and they will use this thing. So the consumers will be fooled. So this is the reason that the most of the cases in earlier days used to be on trademark infringement, and the two lawyers used to fight in the court of law. So what I have written in red color: claims, transfer of technology, license agreement, and infringement. These are the things which are to be done by the lawyers, and all other things like identification of problem, ideation, research and development, IP creation, and IP evaluation, technology marketing, negotiation are not the domain of lawyers. Negotiation is done by professional negotiators. They're professional negotiators who negotiate. Then come on the left hand side about infringement, the patent maintenance and IP portfolio management. The patent maintenance fee is very high, and suppose a company is maintaining all the patents, it may have to pay 1,000 crore rupees per year on patent maintenance. Now, which are the patents to maintain which should not be maintained? Maintained means for which patent should not be renewed. Because once the patent is given to you, it has to be renewed every year. You have to pay renewal fee. So the renewal fee, if you pay for all of the patents you have got, then it will be very high. Patent renewal bill will be very high. So so many multinational corporations, they file 5, 6, 7,000 patents every year. So they don't maintain all these patents. They maintain only about 10-15% of the total patents they file. So they reduce this thing, and this is something which lawyers can't do anything about it. It is the R&D people who have to say that how long the patent should be maintained. The marketing people, the finance people, the management people, they need to know and tell that to what extent these to be maintained. So that is also not a lawyer's thing. And further R&D is again by research scientists, and that the scientists need to know that what R&D is to be done. So what I have put in 3 things in the red color. These are the 4 things. These are the something in the IPR system which are in the domain of patent attorneys. And rest all other things are to be handled by the common man, like identifying the problem. Anybody can identify a problem. And then research and development, IP evaluation, technology marketing, the patent maintenance, and further R&D, everything is to be done by the managers and engineers put together. Managers, scientists, and engineers. So this is something which gives you the idea that what is the role of scientists, engineers, and managers in the context of intellectual property rights, and what is the role of attorneys in the context of IPRs. The claims, transfer of technology, license agreement, and infringement, these are the things which are to be handled by the IPR attorney. So this is something which is important, and what I have discussed just now, you can make out that how many things are there, what we can do or you can do. I will show you some important, very common products examples in our next class. Okay, then I think I close it. अभी how many people are there now? कहाँ मालूम पड़ता है कितने लोग हैं?
So total 21 students are there.
Achha, so in that case, I think I will redistribute this thing. The 10 marks will be for the attendance.
Okay.
10 and 10 for 2 term papers and 10 will be for attendance. I'll modify it and mail it to all of you. Okay.
Yes.
There is no point in registering for the course and not attending the class, because you have to clarify all your doubts in this class. Okay, otherwise your learning is very inadequate. Okay. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.